That was hysterical. Sometimes it's like I don't even know if what the other one is like, where it is.
Report. Ellet
All right.
embedded.
This one's a lot of cutscenes about Ellet, about the different interviews that she's done up to this point. And again, like you see in the book, it happens in order of where it was. After Vassal Urban Warfare, we had the cutscene where she, you know, right there, attached to him, and now this is her talking to herself.
Squad 7 of Regiment 3. My first impression, good. Lieutenant Welkin Gunther, squad leader. Next in command, Sergeant Alicia Melchiot. That lieutenant looks softer than I'd expect for the son of the late General Gunther. And her hometown is Brule, same as Gunther. Could be childhood
Not
friends.
exactly.
But if I'm lucky, they were childhood sweethearts.
Not yet.
We'll just have to find out how close they are. Next on the list, Sergeant Largo Potter and Corporal Bridget Stark. Oh wait, that's right. Stark had a nickname. Gotta jot that down. Goes by Rosie. There. Looks like those two don't trust Gunther much yet. That could be good. Could be really good. Who does that leave? Right, the tank pilot, Corporal Isara Gunther. Huh, she's the lieutenant's sister. Now that's strange. She looks Darkson to me. Wonder how that comes into the picture. You couldn't ask for a more colorful crew than that.
That's an understatement.
Something tells me these guys are different than the usual troop somehow. Maybe my keen journalistic instincts?
Actually, for once, that is a true statement.
Well then... The truth's not gonna uncover itself. Here I come, ready or not. Oh, there's Sergeant Potter, and Corporal Stark with him. Hey, guys! Mind if I ask a few questions? It'll only take a second.
What, like an interview? What do you want to go interviewing us for?
Aw, come on, big guy. I bet we'd make better topics than some rich kid.
Wonderful. Let's start with you then, Largo. You fought in the first European War, right?
Yeah, I've been a soldier ever since, too. I'm what you'd call a seasoned warrior, see?
And why did you choose to stay in the force? Most people try to avoid the soldiering life.
It's an honest living, plus I got my reasons. Besides, I ain't the only one. Look at Elle.
Who's Elle?
Who's
Ah, yes. We'll get there. Don't worry about that.
If I had to guess, I'd say
Oh,
Eleanor
good
Virat.
instincts.
Captain Virat, that is. 3rd Regiment. It seems you've got quite a history with her. Care to fill in some details for us?
Yeah, probably not.
There ain't no details. Is this the trash you want to write about? Look, I'm a busy guy. I'm out of here.
You look real busy.
Hey, Largo, wait up!
Oh, just let him go. We can have a little chat, just the two of us girls. So, Rosie. Can I call you Rosie? Beautiful name, by the way. Do you like flowers?
What does that have to do with anything?
I used to sing at a bar. It was hardly a flower patch, but my nickname there stuck. Tell you what, though. Some customers came from miles away just to hear me sing.
My. So why is a pretty young songbird with a voice as sweet as a rose so thorny towards Lieutenant Gunther and all those others?
Oh, very poignant question.
I just ain't trusting my back to a stinking dark hair is all.
Traumatic past experience with a Darkson leave you bitter, maybe?
Think what you want. I got better things to do than sit around gabbing about him is all.
Whoa.
You can put me down as allergic, yeah? Just chatting and I'm starting to feel sick.
Bet she'd spill the beans if you got her riled up enough. Maybe next
Oh,
time.
that's nice.
Still, a veteran carrying a torch for his captain and a Darkson-hating chanteuse? They may be cranky, but they're characters. Boo!
Yeah, that's a great way to start an interview.
Oh, hello, Miss Ellett.
Totally unaffected.
A little freaked out now. You didn't even bat an eye at
Yep.
that. You were staring at the sky pretty intently. Something up there we should know about?
I'd like to fly. Well, actually, I'd like to fly my brother.
That doesn't sound quite right.
Fly your brother? Care to expound
Yes,
on
please
that?
do.
You don't seem the type to have her head in the clouds. It's very romantic.
I believe myself to be quite logical, really. Too logical, perhaps.
Okay, so if you don't mind my asking, how exactly are you and your brother related? Wait, let's leave that for now. How would you describe your brother as a person?
Welks is... objectively speaking, he can seem a little...
Yeah, that's an
strange
understatement.
sometimes.
I see. Although I'm a little unsure of what that means, coming from you.
But he is a very kind person, and loyal. Anytime my heritage brought me trouble, he was the first to come to my defense.
I see. Sounds like you really love him, huh?
I would say I respect him a great deal.
Gotcha. Sounds like you lucked out in the sibling department then.
Yes, very much so. That's why I'd like to give him the opportunity to fly.
I'm still not sure I follow that exactly, but we'll leave that for another day. Thanks for your time. Next up, Squad Leader Gunther himself.
Thing with Asara is that she was an offhanded comment by Welkin about wanting to fly like the birds, and now she's trying to research on how to build an airplane, which at this point in time, I don't believe it's ever been done before in 1935 Gallia. So she's trying to be the first person to create some sort of a plane.
Hello, hello! Are you ready for your big interview?
Hello, Miss Ellett. Hard at work again, I see.
Didn't you already interview him before?
Oh, Alicia, I wanted to get in a chat with you today, too.
Wait, really? You're going to write an article about me?
I can't say whether it'll make the paper, but I do have some questions for you. You've been at Lieutenant Gunther's side since you left Brule. Tell me what he's like.
Wait a minute. You want to interview me about him? Well, let's see. We only met just a few days ago, but... he's a pretty interesting person. You never know what he's going to say next.
Yeah, that's definitely an understatement.
I see, I see. So, forget he's your boss for a second. What do you think of him as a guy?
What? I've never really thought about it. I don't know.
Then why are you blushing?
Is that so? Well, Lieutenant Gunther, care to comment in her place? Lieutenant, where'd he go?
Huh? Oh, sorry. There was just this crazy-looking bug. I got distracted.
That's a hell of a thing to catch her attention.
See what I mean? He's an interesting guy, if unpredictable.
No kidding. Now, Lieutenant Gunther, I have a couple of questions for you. First up, how do you feel about this war, as the son of a hero from the First European War?
Same as anybody else, I guess. I want it to be over. Are people looking at me as the son of a hero? Well, maybe I am, but I'm still just me.
Okay then, let's talk about you. What are you fighting for?
I feel like the present world is made up of things we've inherited from the past. We get life and a home from our parents, knowledge from our teachers. And not just the good stuff. Take prejudice against Darksons. That's learned behavior. Every creature out there is trying to pass things along to future generations. I want to pass on what I think is right. I'm fighting for the ability to do that.
Thank you very much. That's all I've
Yeah,
got for
because
you
she just
today.
kind of left her speechless with that one. Nothing else I could really ask you. Yeah, definitely strange person.
Great, we're done? I want to get back to that fascinating insect.
You really hit the nail on the head. He's as entertaining as he is unpredictable. I was planning on moving along to the next squad after interviewing everyone in Squad 7. But I think I'll stick around and learn a bit more about you Sevens, if you don't mind.
Not at all. Just try to stay out of the combat zones, for your own safety.
I'm not making any promises. I go where the scoop takes me. That's just how I roll.
Alright. That's enough farting around with those cutscenes. Need to get back to actually doing missions. Like, some of those you buy, you can do missions within. There's one for Largo that's a lot. They're not like full missions. There's always some sort of catch or caveat within them, where either you have a limited team or you have certain conditions that must be met, and they tend to be a whole lot harder because of it. Matter of fact, the two hardest missions are in those, side reports that we do. But either which way, let me save, and then we can finally get going with the Boreas Desert. Alright, Boreas.
You will now be briefed on the operation.
Spread across a wide open stretch of desert, with all those strange, weird carvings in the ground. Alright, but either which way, let us keep this, kind of skip past all this. The idea is you gotta take the enemy base camp at the far end of the universe. And it is a hell of a freaking distance to travel. Okay, up here. Let us put just the sniper. A couple different ways you can go about doing this section, but try not to overcomplicate things if possible. Alright, so, Largo, we can put him back here, because he's going to do nothing other than stand there. Just for the sake of those, those command points that he has. And Rosie as well. So we're going to put Rosie, and I'm also going to bring in Jane. And then the rest of the 3 spots are going to be my hard push with Alicia, Freesia, and Juno. And that leaves me 1 spare spot, which I could use at a little bit later point in time. There we go. Let me take a look. Yeah, that should be good. I put the shock troopers as far forward because of how short their, ability to, run is. They don't have a lot of good distance. And Largo's all the way to the back because that's all he's going to do is stand there. Alright, yeah, we're good.
All right, we're set to begin. Good luck.
The enemy's spread out through the desert region. Squad 7, move out!
This place is really something else. I've never seen rocks with holes like these.
Faldia was saying those holes are the result of the same blast that scorched the area. There are furrows dug into the ground, too. Must have really been some explosion.
Or multiples.
Are you serious? That's crazy.
It's not like there couldn't have been multiple explosions. Or, you know, controlled blasts or anything like that.
Yeah, but those trenches and rock walls should make for solid cover.
On an open field like this, we'll use whatever we can get. Squad 7, move out!
Alright, this mission can be incredibly frustrating, like I said, if you let it get ahead of you. So, biggest thing is you're not going to run into any tanks until you're way the hell out here. There's 2 tanks here. There's a 3rd tank over here that you can't see right at this moment. This guy pretty much hangs there. This guy sometimes comes forward. He sometimes doesn't. These 2 snipers become a real problem later on in a little while. You know, when they take their turn. If you're exposed to them, they will. There's some, these right here, it says trench, and it's kind of hard to get an idea of the terrain right here, but there's a lot of terrain and hills and what have you right here. But they got these little holes cut into them, and if they get an angle on you, they'll shoot your people, which gets annoying after a while. So, let us move forward with Jane's going to kick forward.
Just try to stop me.
Right here, this is what I'm talking about. With the kind of thing. There's Marina way up there. And there's one of their snipers.
Found one.
So hot.
Die, die, die! Next.
Man down. Everybody be careful.
Alright, the idea is you're going to want to inch her out so that she can shoot at them, but while at the same time not have an eye on any of the snipers. So right about there, and then you see she doesn't have an eye on any of the snipers, which are over there. She's blocked from the snipers, but anybody that tries to come forward is going to be shot by her. Alright, so he stays there. Barisha, Alicia, who do I want to move forward first? Alright, let's move Alicia.
Okay?
Bring out the grenade.
Careful, you're headed towards...
If you put it at their feet, it's quite rare for them to not, you know, in order to... What the world is the sound effects doing? It's kind of crazy. Hey now. Alright, anyway. Behind this wall is where you more or less want her and whoever's next coming up behind her. For this exact moment. Right now we don't have an engineer. What I'm going to do is once I get this taken over, I'm going to take over and then bring in the engineer there. You shouldn't need an before then, but you never know. It's hit or miss. All depends on how annoying the game wants to get. So, all 9 to shoot him. The only real thing that really is a pain in the ass is those guys are resistant to explosives. So we'll just take the chance at hitting him. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. You never really know. And you got him, though. All right. It's always a positive thing is when you take those guys out. That's, while they really can't take you out, especially if you put your weakness to them and they hit the weakness, it's going to blow up the tank in one hit. So the big thing is definitely keep your front to them. And the big thing that definitely helps is taking them out as soon as possible. Because when there's multiples of them, that's when they really start to, you know, whittle your health away to nothing. So, Farisha, we're going to bring up...
Watch me dance.
We get a little bit of an extra boost in the length that you can get with it. It's not much, but I've seen instances where it makes the difference. So, take aim, and who knows, it's quite the hell of a distance to fire at someone. Oh, and Farisha, that's why I like Farisha. She's really good. You never know, it's hit or miss, but in that case, it was definitely a hit. So behind here, they're protected from the snipers. And then we're going to want to take Juno.
All right, here I go.
Down into this trench and right to the side.
You're headed towards the machine gun. Foot soldiers, move out.
Hostile identified.
Right here, command point. Boom! And they have one less command point to worry about.
Enemy neutralized.
Enemy unit neutralized.
Now the big thing is you want to get her far enough over behind this so that they can't shoot at her. Because those snipers, what the snipers will do on top of that little hill there, and that little, you know, mud hut or whatever the hell you want to call it, they'll bounce up and down and around those sandbags and fart around and do this, that, and the other thing, and it's, you know, a bit irritating. There's a tank out that direction, so I'm going to bring it in just a smidge. You never know. This is what I'm talking about. Well, that tank, sometimes those tanks love to take shots at your troops, and as you see, sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. I've been incredibly lucky so far with in the act of hitting what I've been pointing at.
Imperial unit sighted. Please be careful.
So that's good right there. Now, what we're going to want to do is Marina. Definitely don't forget and leave her out there exposed. I've done that before. It's an incredible derp moment. Now, the first couple times I did this game, I didn't even realize this. And it made this mission a hell of a lot harder. You get up here and you look around, and it's like, ugh, it's, you know, there's the flag, and there you go. And you look, and it's like, well, you know, you can push forward and try to shoot at these people, which is a command point. It might work, it might not. But the first couple times I did this mission, I didn't even realize there's a nice little cut through right here.
Set a reasonable pace to preserve your strength.
And now you can really unleash on these guys here. Now again, whether or not it hits or not, let's find out. Oh, yes, I will take it. You damn well better believe so. With her, I'm about to take a couple of shots, so I'm going to leave her out. Never leave her exposed, though. The other sniper will shoot at her, and snipers have very little defense, so definitely
The hunt begins.
it's detrimental when you do that. Now, if I can take this guy out right now, it would be very beneficial for something I'm about to do in a minute here. He's bobbing and weaving and ducking and what have you and oh, Marina. That's why I like her so much. When she gets to a point where her, when you get her the best rifle in the game, her yellow circle or orange circle thing is a dot at the crosshairs, and it hits that. You can have her be here and shoot all the way out to this shock trooper over there, and she'll hit it. First time, every time. It's absurd how good she is.
Don't let the heat get to you.
But because Juno's down there and all that's left up there is one sniper, what I'm going to do now is
Keep an eye on the uneven ground
I am
as
going
you
to
walk.
start to pull her back. Now the key is you don't want to let... You want to get her as far forward here as you can without having any angle on the sniper. Which is that... I'm going to... Right there. Okay, yeah. That's good. The idea is you don't want... That sniper on the behind those sandbags is going to want to jump forward. He farts around back and forth. From here, he won't be able to get her, but she's far enough this way that that'll help. Okay. End the current action. Yes. Alright, so that is pretty good placement for